If it's effort to communicate with you, then I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to communicate no more because it becomes too hard. Why would I work? I already have to go to work with people that sometimes I don't want to work with. I got to come home now and work to talk to you. I already go to work. I grind all day long. I do business all day long. All of it is work. So then when I come to you now, which should be the easiest conversation I have in my life, that's also work too. How long before I don't want to come home no more? How long before I don't even want to talk to you anymore? But I know I'm going to have to talk to you because I love you, innit? We have kids or we have a family or whatever else. That's how you catch them dads. They've already come home. But you catch them walking around the block, walking. They don't want to enter the house. They're even scared to tell the woman that they've had a long day because God knows what that woman's gone through. They'll come and blast you now for even complaining that you had a long day.
Yeah, do you think those uncles really love their wives though?
I mean, they love their wives, but it's a different kind of love, innit? They're taught love in a different kind of way.
Because I do believe in the idea that love is a choice, innit?
Yeah, and they chose. The problem is that they chose what they've been told to choose, which is what's in the best interest for them. So you go for what you need and not what you want. We are in a generation now where we look at what we need and what we want. And that's what makes having a partner now more difficult. Because them times is what you need. Back in the day, good girl, we'll have my kids, you have boom, boom, boom. Then I can go to the party with my friends and go and shambaz. Now, guys don't just want a good girl at home. They also want their girl to be able to switch it up. We saw a message today, Sometimes you want your girl to just send you a picture doing something at home, whatever else, to turn you on while you're at work. You think that the mums of that generation were doing that shit? You think they were taught to do that? They were taught to cook, be at home, feed. And when your man needs service, give him service.
Yeah, but don't you think that's a level of option paralysis?
What?
So basically, during lockdown.
Shout out to your university.
No, you know why I say that is because obviously when it comes to let's say lockdown, obviously a lot of people are single, a lot of people are at home, and there was bare options for a lot of people. Everyone, you could talk to women that you probably would have never spoken to, or had the time to talk to women that you would have never had time to speak to beforehand. Okay. And then what happened is with a lot of guys is they never picked anyone because it's like, I like this about this girl. I like this about this person. I like this about this person.
So what's the key thing? What's the key thing that you just said?
You see what you were saying about the whole images being sent, and I don't believe you can have it all.
Of course you can.
No, I don't, because it will be too much pressure to put on one person to be able to satisfy you in everything. Bear in mind, you've had your own personal experiences with different women. So to put that all into one woman, it's like, I don't know, me personally, it's not even about standards. It's just more about a practicality thing. Do you get what I mean? And then you add the equation of having kids. Okay.
So you mentioned lockdown, yeah?
Yeah.
The key thing you mentioned in lockdown was time. Every single guy would happily talk to every single girl. See what you get. But the majority of our time is consumed with what? Responsibility. Which doesn't allow us to wander in certain ways. What often happens with all the guys that have all the money? They have a lot of time. And what often do they do with their time?
Talk to their guys.
There's a reason why girls want guys that work a lot. Yeah. It's not because of how much money they make. I mean, money is a part of it. But it's more so the fact that they know you don't have that much time, mister. You don't. So, as much as I know you might talk to other women, it can't be to the level of that guy, because that guy's got too much time. He's enjoying too much. Yeah? Now, what was the other part you mentioned?
Putting that pressure on one woman.
You can have everything you want in one woman. But no one said that every experience you've had with every girl is what you want in a woman. First off. Secondly, just because you can get everything you want in a woman doesn't mean there's going to be things that they have that you don't want. For example, if there's 5 things you want in a woman, she can have all 5 of those things. There might be 1 or 2 things that you don't like. But because you have the 5 against 2, you do what? You settle. Because the reality is that the 5 things you wanted, you've got in that woman. These 2, I'll put up with that shit because you know what? The 5 things I want, I got. So the question really is, do you as a man know what you want from a woman? Or do you know what you think you want in a woman? Because on the one breath, we say we want a woman to cook and clean. Cook and clean, no problem. But you also want to make money. No problem. But you also want to have kids. No problem. But you also want them to raise the kids. No problem. But you also want them to be sexy. No problem. I mean, I know we have superheroes in Marvel, but this is real life.
So that's what I'm trying to say to you.
So I can do all the things you're talking about, but there's going to be things that you're going to need to do to allow me to be able to do all the things you want me to do. Because I actually want to do those things, but we're sharing the responsibility in the same kind of way.
Yeah.
Hello.
What I'm trying to say to you.
How am I going to be sexy for you when I'm with your kids all the time? Or our kids, your kids, however you want to look at it. How am I gonna do that part when you want me to go to work, sometimes even doing overtime?
So what I was saying was that you called it settling in regards to a guy obviously not having missing out 2 things out of probably 7 things he likes, but he gets 5. My thing is, I don't think it's practical to, as you get older, as a man, to say I want a woman to do all 7 things, because being wise or being logical will actually tell you that, okay, that's not possible. And actually her imperfection is part of who she is, and it's not settling. It's more, that's how she is. So there's going to be a compromise. You're going to get girls that do certain things better for you, but the 5 other stuff is dead. Do you see what I mean? You'll get girls that, yeah, they're more sexually boom, but to be a wife, they're poor. Their character's poor. So what I'm saying is it really settling because, okay, my girl doesn't ride you the way this girl rides you, but this girl doesn't have a job, doesn't do anything with her life, and so on and so. I think it's what you prioritize.
If I have this and you've enjoyed this, and this person doesn't have the thing that I enjoyed, you've settled. You've accepted that you're not going to have this no more. You're going to go with that.
No, you're not. But I'm saying that you're living with the combination of things that they have. You see, everyone has a combination of things. So listen, you see how you said about the time thing with the rich people? Yeah. They have all the time. They can talk to you. They can love bomb you, all of that stuff. But you know, the likelihood of getting any serious commitment from them is low.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but let's just talk hypotheticals, innit? In the sense of, there's only so many rich people, and they're only going to get with so many people. Do you see what I mean?
But the argument again, we'll say with rich people is that they know how to use their time. They occupy their time completely different from people that in actual fact are not rich, which is why when you had lockdown, for the majority of society that was on furlough, what were they doing? What did they do with their time? Tell me how many people actually went to go and do a course, investigate how to make more money. Or was they too busy on chat group wham? What's the group thing again?
Snapchat.
No, there was a group thing that they all used to go on.
Clubhouse. Yeah.
All day, all night, chatting crap, boom, boom, boom. Tinder, boom, boom, secret link. Because there's so much time you have, you're not doing nothing productive. Because naturally, that time would have been occupied with working. Rich people occupy their time with things that they know are productive. So therefore, they manage their time a lot better. Now, I'm not saying all rich people, but majority of rich people. Yeah, so rich people know that they have to manage their time effectively because they have too much time. And because they're used to having too much time, they know what happens when you get left with too much time. You start trying to find new highs, do new things that in actual fact, really and truly, you wouldn't do if you didn't have the time. Yeah, experimenting and trying new things. Furlough was the prime example of why, in actual fact, majority of society shouldn't have too much time. Furlough was the prime example of why, in actual fact, we are lower class. working class people. Because you got given the time. What did you do at the time? Clubhouse, Tinder, LinkedIn, whatever. You were just so happy to get your furlough money that you could then go and explore all your desires and do what you're doing. Nothing productive for majority of society. Does it make sense? Now, as far as this thing of women and men, having what you want from a woman doesn't mean that you're not going to get parts of things that you don't maybe agree with. Because nobody's perfect, as you said. We're perfectly imperfect. But it doesn't mean I can't have all of what I want in a woman. So, all of what I want from someone, if you give that to me, I can accept certain things that I don't maybe want. Certain traits that you have that I maybe don't agree with. Because I'm getting all of what I want.
Is that settling then?
You're still settling. We all settle. That's why it's called settling. The difference between settling down and settling up is that someone's going to tell you straight, if you don't have this, I ain't having it at all. You could have all the things I want, but if you do this, I'm not having it. In which case, they're not trying to settle down. They want to settle up. So when you're settling up, for them girls there, they're like, they can have all the things they want, but if you have one thing that they don't like, they're telling you no. Even though they've got all the things they say they want. That's settling up. When you're settling down, you're accepting that you've got all the things that you said that you wanted and accepting that there's certain things that you don't like, but because you've got all the things you wanted out of that woman, I'll settle for this. Which is that I will put up with this part. So if every now and then you can become a spoiled little brat, bro, I'll accept it. I get my food, my sex, my this, with faith, the lot. I can take the moments of sportness. I'll settle for this. Settling doesn't mean it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, the argument is, do you get everything that you want from a woman? Well, yeah. Just because you get everything you want doesn't mean you're going to get things that you don't like. Just because you get all the money from the business doesn't mean you're not going to get parts of the business that don't give you satisfaction.
That's it.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, Los? So the question really is to all the men, when a woman asks you, what do you want in a woman? Can you honestly say what you want? That's the real question. And I can guarantee most men will tell you they don't know. They'll tell you stuff, but it has no depth. Because they haven't actually thought about that. They know what they need, though.
To bust that. In and out.
Have them kids, take care of them, boom, 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 da, da, da. But they're slightly scared to tell you what they want. They might tell you that they want to do some funny stuff.
But then you start
And then you
saying,
know what happens then?
You start
You
making
start
them
saying,
feel
you
vulnerable.
man up again.
I get vulnerable.
So I
with that,
can't even tell her that I like this in the bedroom. If I tell her I like this, I'm actually gonna look at. Yeah, no, that's mad. So someone says, oh, you have to gauge it. You gauge it on that, like, oh, you start having conversations randomly with other people. Oh, what you like? And then you check what she said. Oh, what? What do you think of that? No, I'll never do that. I'm like, I know this guy's wild, isn't it? This guy. Yeah. So I'm gonna make sure I don't say I like that.
That's it then. Oh shit.
And without knowing, you've started the process of beginning a life that's a lie.
Yeah. I don't encourage that. I'll tell you that one now. I do not encourage that.
I don't encourage it, but Los, it is so real.
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens.
I've seen guys turn pastor
especially the one
because
that,
of Puswa.
I was gonna say, it's the man them that went back to church, went back to Islam. Them man scare me. Because if you knew what they were on before,
What they still on today?
I get, you're a sinner,
They even
you've got
break
forgiveness.
and they baptize the person they get. Hallelujah. Los.
Yeah, what time they were on before, I just sit down and think to myself like, hey, how do you keep this lie up? How? But it is what it is.
But for some men, they just, when they understand the
And it's
real,
women as well. It's not just
Of
men,
course.
it's women as well.
a woman will change her whole act. They say, I don't do that no more. They will even disown friends to remove. And they fight that demon in them. Yeah. But the truth is, sometimes you got to make friends with the demon inside you. Nah, real talk. Like, what are we fighting this for? The desires are the desires. Let me just be friendly with this desire because look, and no one said I was perfect.
That's where communication comes in, isn't it?
And you might find that demon she actually likes, but you don't know, you don't want to test it because you don't want to say the wrong thing before you know that you never guess what this guy likes.
You'd be
Whisper
surprised what your
in
wife
your local
likes.
community before you know it. Hey, Gabz, I heard that you like taking it. Who told you that?
I don't know that though. Let's call it a that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all of that.
Oh, I love you guys, man.
Bless.